So I'm a geek and I enjoy, reading news and information about tech. So computers, phones, tablets, gadgets, headphones, etc. And I of course watched Samsung's Unpacked event on Wednesday, which showed the latest and greatest that was coming out of the world of Samsung. One of the announcements from that event was a partnership with Microsoft to give Galaxy Note 20 users a special bundle and perks for their upcoming Project xCloud and Game Pass services. Me being an iPhone user, I'm watching this with envy and thinking like, no worries, Project xCloud should be on iOS as well, right? I mean, I don't need the cold bundle, but I would still like to be able to play my Xbox games on my device. Well, come to find out that iOS users cannot partake in the fun that is Project xCloud, and it's all Apple's fault. What the heck, Apple? Before we get to the news and my rant surrounding this issue, make sure to hit that like button, because liking these videos lets me know that you love them. Hit the subscribe notification bell, so miss any new videos just like this one. Let's get to the news. As I said on Wednesday, Samsung held their Unpacked event showcasing all the latest and greatest gadgets and devices that were coming to the world of Samsung. One of those announcements made at the event was that Samsung and Microsoft were going to partner to release an Xbox Game Pass bundle for Samsung's upcoming Galaxy Note 20, bringing Microsoft's Project xCloud to Samsung users with some special perks. Customers who purchased the bundle would get a Moga Bluetooth controller and phone holder and 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate, a $45 value, along with the Galaxy Note 20. Project xCloud for the Game Pass Ultimate service launches on September 15th and will be available to Android phone and tablet users. So what about iPhone users? Well, Microsoft intended to launch xCloud on both Android and iOS, and even had a public preview available to certain iOS users. The public preview, which ended on August 5th, the same day as the Samsung Unpacked event ironically, had 10,000 testers who were able to try out Project xCloud on iOS, but only were able to play one game, Halo the Master Chief Collection. This was different compared to Android testers who were able to test a wide variety of games on the service. In a statement to The Verge about the ending of the iOS public preview, our Project xCloud preview test flight period has ended on iOS, and we are focused on delivering cloud gaming as part of the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate to Android customers beginning September 15th. It's our ambition to scale cloud gaming through Xbox Game Pass available on all devices. Apple has very strict limits on remote desktop clients, meaning that apps are only allowed to connect to a user-owned host device or game console owned by the user. Both the host device and the client must be connected on a local network too. It's worth noting that both Google Stadia and Nvidia GeForce Now do not have game streaming for iPhones and iPads, more than likely for the same reasons as Microsoft. On Thursday, Apple made a statement to Business Insider explaining that the issue with the Xbox Game Pass on iOS stems from the fact that Apple isn't able to review each game that's available through Game Pass. The App Store was created to be a safe and trusted place for customers to discover and download apps, and a great business opportunity for all developers. Before they go on our store, all apps are reviewed against the same set of guidelines that are intended to protect customers and provide a fair and level playing field to developers. Our customers enjoy great apps and games from millions of developers, and gaming services can absolutely launch in the App Store as long as they follow the same set of guidelines applicable to all developers, including submitting games individually for review and appearing in charts and search. In addition to the App Store, developers can choose to reach all iPhone and iPad users over the web through Safari and other browsers on the App Store. So basically the issue is because Microsoft isn't submitting each game on Xbox Game Pass to Apple for review, the app itself is being blocked from publishing. In the same article from Business Insider, they did bring up the fact that services like Netflix and Spotify don't have to go through the same required review that they're asking Microsoft to do to get their apps on the App Store. The difference here, though, according to Apple, is that the games are interactive and come with consumer expectations baked into the App Store related to gaming. So what was Microsoft's response to Apple? Well, a Microsoft spokesperson spoke to The Verge and said, "Our testing period for the Project xCloud preview app for iOS has expired. Unfortunately, we do not have a path to bring our vision of cloud gaming with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate to gamers on iOS via the Apple App Store. Apple stands alone as the only general-purpose platform to deny customers from cloud gaming and game subscription services like Xbox Game Pass, and it consistently treats gaming apps differently, applying more lenient rules to non-gaming apps even when they are included with interactive content. All games available in the Xbox Game Pass catalog are rated for content by independent industry rating bodies such as the ESRB and regional equivalents. We are committed to finding a path to bring cloud gaming with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate to the iOS platform. We believe that the customer should be at the heart of the gaming experience, and gamers tell us that they want to play, connect, and share anywhere, no matter where they are." So what's my response to all this? It's bull. Like, what the heck? What I don't seem to understand is you already have my money for the iPhone, Apple. I'm already, taking part in buying whatever else in the Apple ecosystem. If I have an iPhone, I may have AirPods. I could have a MacBook. I could have an iMac. I could have an iHome. I could have, Apple Pencil. I could have all sorts of things. I could be subscribed to Apple Music. I could have Apple Arcade, I could have all kinds of stuff, Apple TV. So what I can't seem to understand is if I'm purchasing your hardware, I'm in your ecosystem, I am included in some of your services like iCloud, I'm paying for iCloud storage, whatever the case may be, if I'm giving you my money for hardware and services, why should I be restricted on what I can do with your devices and services? Why would that be a thing? I feel like if I am an iPhone user or an iPad user and I want to play an Xbox game like my Android counterpart, I should be able to do that. Especially now that we're in an ecosystem where it's only two main platforms, Android and iOS. We don't have a third, fourth, fifth anymore. We don't have BlackBerry. We don't have Windows Phone. We don't have Palm OS. We don't have, Linux. We don't have anything else out there anymore. It's just Android and iPhone. So, this has basically come down to mobile phone wars, gaming console wars, where, it's basically an Xbox Sony situation just with Apple and Microsoft, and that's just crazy. Now, what's ironic about the rules that they're trying to put on the Apple App Store review process, I feel like these same issues were kind of touched in the congressional hearings that happened recently amongst Facebook, Google, Amazon, and Apple, where Tim Cook was present virtually and giving responses to why the App Store basically is restrictive and is not fair market for app developers. And I feel like this speaks to that clearly. Now, don't get me wrong, I get it. This is one leg up for Samsung and Android and Microsoft. I mean, it's a win for them no matter what, even if they can't necessarily get iPhone users involved. But a lot of people have iPhones and iPads, and it'd be nice if they were able to tap into that market and get those users involved in gaming. Yes, Apple has Apple Arcade, but come on, I mean, how many of y'all actually have Apple Arcade? I want to know in the comments below, how many of y'all actually are subscribed to Apple Arcade? And based on the user age demographic that watch my videos, I would say that not a lot of y'all are subscribed to Apple Arcade. I'm sorry. I would imagine most of those people are under the age of 18. That's what I would say. I think there's some Lego games that are on there, so you may be one of those users, but other than that, I would say predominantly none of y'all have Apple Arcade, myself included. And it's not that there's not cool games on Apple Arcade. I think there are games and there is content on there that is worthy of subscription, but there again it lies the problem is it's only through Apple. And yes, I get it. Apple likes to provide its own services to its own users because it has control and it knows how it can deliver a user experience. I get that part. I understand that logic. I get that. It's like being the boss of your own company. I get the whole situation with that. You want to have control. But for me as a user who has had multiple devices in the past, so I have had a BlackBerry, a Palm, a Windows device, an Android device. I have had Android for such a long time, and I only recently came to iPhone. I had iPhone a long time ago, back when it first came out with the iPhone 3G. I had the 2G, the 3G, the 3GS, and the 4, and then I kind of got fed up, and then I went over to Android, and I had Android, for a long time until my daughter was about to be born, and all my family jumped on the iPhone train, and I was like, all right, I'll get an iPhone. So I got an iPhone. But some of the same problems that I, were telling friends and family and customers when I worked at a retail store not to get an iPhone for certain reasons, now they're coming up again. And I just find it ironic that I would think in 2020 it shouldn't be that way. We should have these walls down by now, Apple. We should not be so restrictive. One of the things I didn't like about the iPhone back then was the iTunes store. I did not like that you had to do everything through iTunes. So if I wanted to get music, I had to have a freaking computer with iTunes on it. I didn't have a Mac, I had a Windows PC. So if I didn't purchase music through the apps, like through the iTunes store or music store, whatever it's called back then, and I wanted to put music, I had to go through the iTunes store. I couldn't go through any other outlet at the time. I think at the time you could do like Rhapsody and like subscription services, but if I wanted to actually just load raw music from my CDs or, whatever the case may be, I had to go through iTunes. In contrast to that, had like the Zune and you had, just basic MP3 players that were just basically plug and play like a flash drive, and it was just very free. Same thing with getting your photos off. You could just plug those in and, drag and drop. That was the main thing. You didn't have to go through iTunes, put your iPhone in a special mode to make it act like a flash drive. None of that stuff had to happen. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the iPhone as a device and I have enjoyed using it and it has fulfilled all my needs. But here's a need that I like to have met, and it's not ever going to probably be met, at least not in the near future. So it comes up with the dilemma now of, do I stay with iPhone or do I go to Android? Now, I say that not because I don't think that the gaming part of it should be the only reason why you change devices, and I'm saying that to myself included, but I am up for an upgrade, and up until this point, I've been dead set on an iPhone 12 Pro Max 3000, whatever they're going to call it. That's what I've been set on. But after watching the Samsung Unpacked event, and not just Samsung Unpacked, I mean, the OnePlus 8 Pro and, the Asus EOG phone, I mean, there's tons of devices out there that I've been keeping up with that have caught my eye. I've had Samsung before. I had the Note series for a very long time. And I liked the Note 20 and I even liked the Fold 2. So it's just kind of, it's frustrating. I know there are not devices out there that will be the end-all be-all for users. I know there's always something else that comes along that's better or does something different, and that's the whole point of having competition. I understand that. I'm not oblivious to that. What I think is crazy is that if you just take the Xbox and PlayStation at the core, they are devices that you can purchase that are available to all users, right? So same thing with music and movies, which are interactive. I don't know why they're saying they're not interactive. You can purchase those and they're available to everybody. Or you have Netflix and Hulu and those are available to everybody on a variety of platforms. I don't know why gaming should be any different. If you can have YouTube and Amazon and I think even the, iTunes store have separated content based off of age if that's what they're worried about and ratings, why can't they just do that with Microsoft and these streaming apps? As I said before, this also pertains to Google Stadia and NVIDIA GeForce Now. So, there are other apps out there that cannot get their content to the users that they want because of these restrictive guidelines. What I'd love to see happen is that, hopefully not congressionally, I think that's just kind of crazy that you have to have it mandated down by the government that says, hey, you can't do your people like that and you can't do other people like that, so you have to be better. Talking about you and privacy, Facebook, but that's a separate issue. Anyways, I think it's crazy that Apple just can't let their walls down. In all reality, it's going to benefit them in the end anyways. If I am an Xbox user and I'm like, well, I have Android, but I love getting an iPhone, but I won't get an iPhone because I can't do Xbox Game Pass on it. Oh, but wait, Apple says you can now. Oh, well then great, I'm going to drop Android and go to iPhone. Duh. Oh, but you can't have control over it anymore, Apple. That's the problem. I don't see how that's going to be a problem. You are still in control of the actual Xbox Game Pass app, are you not? I believe that Microsoft and Apple can work through this. I don't see why this would have to be that big of an issue. We're not talking about rights to games. No one's downloading the game. You're just accessing it remotely. I don't understand what the problem is. I do not believe that if I have the Xbox Game Pass on my iPhone and I'm able to connect to a library digitally in the cloud and play a game just like I could watch a video. That's basically what it is. And I know that I'm connecting to this game. Just because Apple doesn't know necessarily what game it is should not mean that I should be able to access it. I know Apple wants control, but that's a little excessive. So ultimately for me, and maybe for you too, does iOS not being able to have Xbox Game Pass or Google Stadia or NVIDIA GeForce Now or anything that PlayStation comes out with, PS Now, whatever it is, does that mean it could be a deal breaker for you if you want to get another iPhone or stay with iPhone and potentially go over to Android? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I know for me personally, I've been thinking about it heavily. September, October is coming up, especially with these new Samsung devices. They're going to probably go quick. I say that they have them flying off the shelves in past months or years, but you never know. This Microsoft thing could really kind of help them out. But I think, for me personally, I'm going to be giving it a lot of thought. I really have to ask myself, do I want to go back to Android? I use Google stuff on my phone anyways. It's practically an iPhone with the Google skin on it. So, it's not like I totally am ingrained. I have an Apple Watch. I have a Mac. That's what I'm obviously using to, bring these videos to y'all. So there's that. But I've lived dual lives anyways as far as platforms and devices go, so it's nothing new. So let me know in the comments what you think about all this iOS Project xCloud hoopla. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see what other responses Microsoft and Apple have to say to each other, because I feel like we're not done with this topic. And I'm pretty sure, given Apple, it's going to take a long time before we get a resolution. And that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos just like this one, hit that subscribe notification bell. I'll see you guys next time on The Mashup.